All right, MFFLs had a meeting with the bosses this morning, and they gave me an ultimatum. They said, we have got to reach 20,000 subscribers by opening night, or else. I don't know what that means, but maybe that means we're going to have to start doing Miami Heat videos on this channel. And I don't want to do that because the Mavs are my squad, they're your squad. So hit that subscribe button. We're only 190 away. We can get to 20,000, right? Subscribe. We're bringing you news and rumors on a weekly basis, several videos per week. So sub right now. Lots to get into on today's show. What's up, Mavericks fans? Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports, and we got a lot of news and rumors to get into here on Dallas Mavericks today, including could Draymond Green end up in Dallas eventually? NBA executive telling Heavy.com saying that if Draymond leaves the Warriors, the Mavericks could be a destination. Here's a quote here from that article. If he gets a big offer from Detroit as one example, or maybe Dallas or the Lakers, somewhere he would like to play, he is not going to be shy about leaving. He understands this business. He would love to play with a superstar like Luka, where he has to just play off of him. Look, we've talked about Draymond before. He's not my favorite player in the league, but the guy's a winner. He makes winning plays. He does a lot of stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. He's the classic guy. If he's on your team, you love him. If he's not on your team, you can't stand him. I'm not a big fan. Mavs get him, though. Let's freaking ride. Like, he would absolutely contribute to this basketball team, whether it would be this year, next year, or in the next couple of years. Obviously, again, the stats aren't, gaudy, right? He's like the two-thirds triple-double guy. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. But he plays defense. He guards multiple positions. He can run the offense. He can play off ball. He's a glue guy. He's a big part of that championship glue and DNA in Golden State. It's not a fluke that they've won all these titles with him being there. He is a big part of that. The guy just doesn't accept losing. There's no doubt about it. All right, so here's another quote. He does not want to in terms of leaving, but if you ask around, I think there is a sense that he would. There is a limit on how much they're going to spend to keep this thing together because they have young guys at just about every position. They're approaching it like there's no one outside of Steph that they have to keep. Look, it would suck for them if Draymond left. It would suck to call up Steph and have to tell him, but Draymond has made it clear that he is about player power. And yeah, there's been reports out there that he wants another new max contract. He's got a player option for the year after this one, so maybe he would opt in. But if he wants a max, I don't think waiting 2 years to try and get one is going to bode well. He's already into his early mid-30s, so opting out of this year would make sense if he wants to go chase top dollar. And say Golden State wins another title this year, and he's got 5 rings. I mean, what else does he need to do for that team? Maybe he's looking to just max out money and try to do something else elsewhere. That's just speculation on my part, but that could play into this as well. We know how tight that group is out there, but money talks. It always talks. Now, the current supporting cast for the Mavericks is got good role players right now. Let me just say this, too. I don't think Draymond Green's a number 2 player on a championship team. He's never been that in Golden State. He wouldn't be that for Dallas. But he's an excellent role player. Like, he's like the ultimate role player, which is going to get him into the Hall of Fame. Dorian Finney-Smith, Christian Wood, JaVale, Hardaway, Dinwiddie, these are going to be high-level players for the Mavs this year, but you're still lacking that second superstar. But while Draymond isn't that, it's about winning now. If you can get a championship-winning piece like Draymond Green in free agency, if he walks next year or via trade, that's something you have to consider. And that's coming from a guy who's not a big Draymond fan. Now, I would have to look at trade packages before I signed off on it, but he just does a little bit of everything, and he just plays with the right attitude to win games, and I don't think there's any doubt that he would help this team. And him and Luka get along pretty well. They always have pretty good interactions when the Mavs play the Warriors, so keep that in mind as well. Should the Mavs try to sign Draymond in 2023, next offseason? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Again, he's got that player option, but it could come down to opting out or not. This will be the pinned comment on today's show, so let us know, should the Mavs try to sign Draymond next summer? There have been some extension updates here, but Draymond does not think that an extension will happen before the start of the season, and a lot of players shut down extension talks once the season starts. Not saying that's going to be the case for Draymond here, but there's been reports for a while because of the luxury bill that Golden State continues to pay, and if they extend Draymond, it's going to go up even more. It's the most expensive team in NBA history. Isn't the tax bill like $500 million, Coop? I mean, it's something crazy. I think they cut some fat off and maybe dipped just under $500 million, but it's an outrageous number because basically the way it works, however many years you're over the cap, it just keeps stacking. It keeps stacking. It keeps stacking. They're up to over, almost $500 million, which they can pay. Golden State's net worth has gone up 10x since they drafted Steph Curry. But at some point, ownership is going to be like, look, I mean, we're not going to pay $1 billion tax bill 5 years from now. We got to make some moves here, and letting Draymond go could be one of those moves. At some point, they're going to lose one of the core guys. And if it's me, I think if Klay Thompson stays healthy, he can age better because the jump shot's not going away. We've already seen Draymond lose the shooting ability as he's gotten older, and what's going to be next to go is the body's going to start to slow down and break down, and his defensive ability is so critical. So if you're Golden State, I think keeping keeping Klay next to Steph makes more sense than keeping Draymond next to Steph. And if it comes down to those two, I would guess they let Draymond go, and the fact that his contract could be up after this year might just make the decision for them. Now, if the Mavs were able to add Draymond, this could be a potential lineup. Luka, Dinwiddie, Draymond, Dorian Finney-Smith, JaVale McGee. Maybe it's Christian Wood next year if he returns. Who knows? Obviously, Wood's on a one-year deal right now, final year of his contract, so he's got a lot to prove. But that would be a very versatile lineup for this team. Again, you don't have a second superstar, but we've seen teams, Dirk Nowitzki, 2011, that have that one superstar and then a bunch of really, really good role players. That would be kind of what this looks like if that ended up being the case. Now go into your 2K mode and say, hey, how would you rate Draymond Green? Grade him 1 to 100. 100 being he's the best player in the league, so he's obviously not that. Give him like an 82, right? Pretty good at everything, but not great at anything kind of guy. I mean, he's a great defender, I would say, but we know he's got shooting liability issues, but he does so much other things well. I'd give him like an 82. Let us know in the comments how you would grade Draymond. Join the fam, like we said. Got to get to 20K by opening night. Got about 3 weeks to do it, so hit that subscribe button. We're covering you guys on the latest with Luka, Hardaway, Christian Wood, this entire squad. We're going to have you covered. And guess what? If the Mavs make a major move, we'll have you covered for that as well. YouTube.com/MavsTV. We are the channel for you. All right. NBA trade report. This is classic rumors, SZN. Sources: the Mavericks are extremely motivated to land Phoenix for Jae Crowder in a trade. Now, this kind of feels like an exaggerated, aggregated report from Shams listing the Mavs to Crowder, but hey, we're still talking about it, and he's going to get traded. He and Phoenix have agreed to part ways. He will not play for them this year, and I do think the Mavs make sense as a team to get Jae Crowder and his services. Now, does Phoenix like Dwight Powell? Are they willing to do a Powell for Crowder swap with Dallas maybe sending an extra pick back to Phoenix as well? They need another big. Powell didn't play well in the playoffs, but he had a pretty decent season last year, and he can catch lobs, and we know Chris Paul can throw some, so maybe that could make some sense. Our good pal Jae Crowder tweeted this out. He yells his tweets. He says, "One must seek work where he is wanted, where he is needed. I am thankful for what these past 2 years have taught me. Now I must take on another challenge with continued hard work and dedication. For those of you who closed the door on me, thank you. 99 back soon." He also liked the tweet from a Mavs account. Coop and I forgot to talk about this. I meant to bring this up. He liked the tweet about a Mavs account saying, "Come back, Jay." So who knows? He also liked some Grizzlies tweets and some other stuff. But you know how it is. Twitter can be a place of its own sometimes. This is the trade we've mentioned a few times. I would also go Dwight Powell, Josh Green in a second. I'd probably rather give up Josh Green than a first, but I'd probably be willing to do this to get Jae Crowder on board. We've talked about him a lot over the past couple weeks, over the past couple months. Just do it. Get him on board. If you're not going to sign a third ball handler, I think Jae Crowder is a gettable player that you can get with the assets that you have. It gives you more length. It gives you more wing depth. We've talked about how much Finney-Smith and Bullock had to play in the playoffs last year. Get a third guy in there that can stagger those minutes. With Tim coming back as well, that could be a nice little off-ball, quartet between Hardaway, Bullock, Finney-Smith and Crowder. I think that's a pretty good wing group for this roster. All right, what do you guys think? Should the Mavs trade for Jae Crowder? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I would like to see it, but season's almost here. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I do think he would be a pretty good fit here. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Training camp is underway as practice began on Tuesday. Interesting note, Jason Kidd brought in a former coach he used to work under in L.A., Frank Vogel, who, of course, got let go by the Lakers last year. You see the photo here. Lots of legends in this photo, including Frank Vogel hanging out at Mavs practice. Credit Tim McMahon for this photo on Twitter. But basically, Jason Kidd said, hey, it's open door. Come hang out if you want. I don't know if that necessarily means that they're going to hire Frank Vogel as a consultant or assistant or anything like that. But you see this a lot in the NBA where a coach gets fired or resigns, kind of does a tour, and then the next year they try to get a head coaching job. Obviously, they have a relationship when Kidd was an assistant under him in L.A. Before Kidd got the Mavs job before last season. All right, some important dates coming up, and then we'll get out of here. Fan Jam, October 1st. That'll be fun. The preseason opener in Tulsa against the Thunder. And then season opener, what's that, 23 days away, something like that. It's here. It's here. Basketball is back, and that is how long we have to get to 20,000 subscribers. So let's make it happen. Share the link below with a friend, youtube.com/MavsTV. 190 away. It's all we need to get to 20K.